So this is my Doctor Who theme. I decided that I wanted to do a Doctor Who theme, which was loosely based on what the Doctor Who theme would sound like if Vangelis had done it, because Vangelis is one of my favourite composers of all time, and the Doctor Who theme is one of my favourite themes, so why not blend the two? So I've gone for some fairly obvious stuff. If I just do that, there we go. Okay. So quite obviously I've gone for the So what I've done is I've started here with the piano. To invoke the same kind of rhythm that the original theme has, so it has that kind of I like to think of it as a galloping rhythm, but I thought, well, I want to do it in a slightly different way, and I know that Vangelis uses these kind of sparse pianos, quite a lot of reverb and that reverb, by the way, which is a very Vangelis-y reverb, kind of not quite like the shimmer reverb but that you get with Valhalla, but they're reverbs similar to Vangelis's. There's a fantastic plugin or virtual instrument. If I load it up here, it's called Surge, and here we go, Surge Synth. If I load that up just to show you. When is it going to show me it? There you go, there's Surge. Doesn't allow you actually to expand it, but I put it onto my lower resolution screen, you can see it. Right, so Surge has got a lot of power to it, a lot of different ways of editing. So you've got the filter and the amp emulator generators and lots of different waveforms and all this sort of stuff. It's great, but I just like using some of the fantastic presets. So pick's probably one of the most terrible ones ever. That sounds like 80s Doctor Who, doesn't it? So yeah, so this is Surge, but what also comes with Surge, lovely. So what comes with Surge also is an effects unit. It's a separate effects unit. Now I'm not quite sure how it racks in, but I think that the effects are sort of built into the main plugin. But as a result of installing it, you get this effects unit, or this effects plugin. It just called Surge Effects, and it appears in the effects lineup in Logic as well. And you can get these really lovely effects, which is why I've got and that reverb is the Surge Effects unit, effects bank. I've got it set on a big room size, so I've set it up to like 31%. Very big decay time, not so much dampening and stuff like that, so it's nice and big. But gorgeous, isn't it? Fabulous. And the synth that I'm using there is the Arteria CS80V, which is their virtual instrument modelling of the famous Yamaha CS80, and it is frankly brilliant. And I've yet to dig in totally into all the programming features and sort of really teach myself a bit more how the CS80 worked as a machine, just to know that it is just a fantastic thing. And I thought, well, I've got to get this. I've always fancied having a CS80. I don't have 30 or 40 grand, funnily enough, so and it's a fabulous instrument. So the Doctor Who thing, I've built this up from, so we have Surge right at the top here, but I started with the piano here, which I haven't labelled actually, I've not labelled anything. So I started at the top here. So to get that, so I've played it in E minor. So we've got lots of splosh, reverb, and a delay. Right, so that's really nice. So that starts off with that. So I wanted to give it a different feel. One of the things that Vangelis has done is, in the past, is used kind of ethnic instruments in his productions, and it really just gives the whole thing a different atmosphere, doesn't it? Especially in Blade Runner, there's lots of really interesting sort of Eastern instruments and stuff in it. In this case, I've used a dulcimer, which is from Spitfire Audio. It's in their original series, and it's called Symbolon. So that's why I decided to do the lead line on it. Lovely sound. So that goes. There you go. So just as that lead line comes in with the piano and everything else, you start to come up with the other instruments which I've used to sort of create the rhythm. So we've got surge. So we've got that line there. So which is nice. I put the loop there so we know where we're at. This next track, again, I've got another Spitfire library, which is Epic Choir. This is what I'm doing these kind of almost kind of scat staccato sort of choir voices with. Lovely. Certainly not perfectly played, but it sort of works within the track. So, I mean, the idea behind this also was that I really wanted to sort of almost sort of jam it, you know. So there you've got that. So you've got another part that comes in here, which I believe is the strings, because I actually did put this together a little while back. So I know it's more choiring, so I think it's more sort of long choirs, I think, in this. Oohs, in fact. There you go. My favourite bit of the whole piece, that middle section there. I think it's just lovely, quite folky. So yeah, we've got these. So let's just type that in. So we've got ooh choir, lovely, right? And then we've got the piano track there. So we don't need to look at that again for the time being. Here that also comes in at the beginning. We've got a CS80 line. So that is, what's that doing there? Let's have a look. So we've got another instance of the CS80. So a nice kind of stabby staccato. So that works really nicely with that surge instrument at the top. So let's put them together at the top. Down here we've got I can't even remember what I did now. So we've got again another Spitfire audio thing. We've got the Abbey Road low strings. So Abbey Road 1 is a sample library that they did. It's sort of like a modular thing. You had the sort of main library, which is called Foundations, and then they released lots of little modular ones, and I've got a couple of them, one of which is the low strings. He says, I'm not even on the right track. Lovely legatos. Legatos are lovely. If you don't know how they work, say you play one note, and what you do is you play the next note before you release the previous one, and what happens is that it uses it triggers a sample between the notes, if you like, so you get this real transition of the instrument player moving between one note and another. So it's just very subtle, but it's different from back to the legatos. especially when you're going down, you almost get a very, very tiny portamento. So yeah, lovely. So what I'm doing there is I think I'm underpinning the bass line, if you like. Lovely. And then lastly on this sort of section, we've got the basically an 808 instrument, but I've put a bunch of delay and I think I even used a pedal board there to just get some kind of fun going, like a bit of rotary effect. Panning around a little bit. So with the other parts of the backing, before we bring the main line in, so there we go. With the main line, we'll go. This is the point that I bring the CS80 lead sound in. Let's just open up these again. So yeah, like I say, we've got also this instrument here, which again I'm stupidly not labelled. So we've got the Jangle Box piano, which I'm playing alongside the melody of the bridge of this, if you know what I mean. Let's make that a bit smaller. Also whacked through the Surge Effects unit, but also the Valhalla frequency echo, so that's a bit of fun. So go and check that out, because I think that's currently on a freebie at the moment with the Valhalla, so check it out. So the main line is also echoed by the Surge, and here's up the CS80 lead. Okay, so we've got the, so this is the piano. Massively drifty, loads of delay, loads of effects, love it. And then you've got the Surge instrument, which I've got, just again using a preset, so we've got a disto brass pass, there we go, which is great. Oops. And then you've also got the CS80 there, of course. There you go. I love how that drifts slightly. I think that's great. And then last but not least, underneath that, I've brought some more sort of strings in there. And basically I've used the low strings again, but I've just played chords and this time on their long setting. So we've got that on its own would be something like this. Just nice sort of soft chords. with the choir there. The ooze. Lovely job. So let's just close down some of these windows at the moment because not going to lie to you, I've not got a particularly powerful computer to do all this, which will hopefully be rectified fairly shortly, but not just yet. So, so the end result, just to go over it again, we've got the piano. Let's put them on order of how they appear. So we've got the piano, then we've got cymbalom. We've got piano. I can never. Lovely dulcimer, which is the cymbalom. So then you've got the surge effect again, which is lush. Then you've got the CS80 doing its rhythm. Now I don't know if that's exactly faithful to how Vangelis would do it. I mean, he had a remarkable way of doing things. There's various videos on YouTube where you can see him with his setup, and he had this kind of bespoke system that was linked to all his synths and stuff that would allow him just to change patches and access things on pedals and things. And so he could just literally play the whole collection of sounds and samples and synthesizers and stuff from like a core hub, and allow him to just almost like conduct his own orchestra. Brilliant. And he improvised a lot of his stuff. A lot of the stuff you hear on his tracks are just completely improvised by him, just playing everything with all four limbs. Just absolute genius. But anyway, that's it. So this is how this track goes. Let's have a listen. Now I was going to sort of put a more defined ending on it, but I just thought, actually, leaving that note hanging there actually is quite nice. I might do something with it in the future, but I think I'm just quite like how that just drifts off. You can just see the TARDIS going off into the vortex. So thank you very much for watching. That's my 2023 60th anniversary celebration of Doctor Who by recreating the theme in my way, but also in the style, I hope, to a degree, of Mr. Vangelis. So please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing on my channel. Thank you ever so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it, and if you can subscribe if you're new, that would be really helpful, and thank you in advance. See you in the next one. Bye for now.